In a world full of noise and endless distractions, we often forget that the body we carry is the home we live in every single day. And just like the mind seeks peace, the body seeks balance. The skin, our outermost expression of inner health, whispers to us every day. But are we truly listening? True beauty begins with internal nourishment, not external cover. This is a truth many overlook in their pursuit of perfection. In our modern world, we're constantly bombarded with advertisements for creams, serums, and treatments that promise flawless skin. We chase these external solutions, hoping they'll fix what's broken, brighten what's dull, or smooth what's rough. But beauty, real beauty, does not begin on the surface. It starts much deeper. It starts from within. The skin is merely a mirror, quietly reflecting the condition of our internal world. What we eat, how we think, the stress we carry, the sleep we sacrifice, and the love we deny ourselves. All of it appears on our face in one way or another. When we feed ourselves with junk, starve ourselves of nutrients, or ignore the signals of our body, our skin becomes the messenger of imbalance. Nourishment is not only about food, it is about everything we consume. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. The vitamins and minerals we put into our bodies create the foundation for every cell, including those that make up our skin. Vitamin A helps to rebuild. Vitamin C brightens and protects. Vitamin E repairs. Zinc calms. Each of these nutrients contributes to the inner strength of our skin, and without them, no lotion can provide true healing. External cover can only hide what lies beneath. But the skin is alive, breathing, evolving every day. It knows when it is truly being cared for, and it shows the results not through quick fixes, but through long-term clarity, resilience, and radiance. People often mistake cosmetics for care. They think they can apply a cream and erase years of neglect. But the skin is not a surface to paint over. It is an organ, intelligent and sensitive, constantly responding to its environment and its nourishment. The moment you begin to truly care for it from the inside out, it rewards you. It softens. It glows. It becomes strong, not just smooth. And that strength is the real beauty. That glow is not from makeup, it is from health. And health is not just about appearance. It is about harmony between mind, body, and spirit. You cannot expect your skin to look alive when your thoughts are toxic, your meals are empty, and your days are filled with stress. The body doesn't separate emotional pain from physical imbalance. It absorbs everything and reflects it outward. When you begin to nourish yourself with intention, everything changes. Drinking enough water becomes an act of self-love. Eating nutrient-rich food becomes a form of self-respect. Sleeping enough is no longer laziness. It's healing. Rest becomes sacred. And over time, your skin starts to reflect this commitment to inner balance. It begins to release what no longer serves it. Acne, dryness, inflammation. It lets go because you are no longer feeding it with stress and deficiency. You're giving it life. You're giving it what it has always asked for, but what you were too busy to hear. The pursuit of real beauty is not glamorous. It is quiet. It is the decision to choose fresh fruit over processed sugar. It is choosing to breathe deeply instead of reacting in anger. It is choosing to put the phone away at night and sleep, allowing your cells to repair in peace. This is nourishment. This is the invisible work that creates visible results. It's not quick, but it's lasting. And once your body feels safe, your skin no longer needs to cry for help. It shines because it is nourished, not just covered up. This kind of beauty cannot be bought. It must be built slowly and lovingly, one decision at a time. Every vitamin you consume is a form of communication with your body. It tells your cells, I care about you. It tells your skin, you are not forgotten. When you give your body what it needs, it stops holding on to stress, inflammation, and dullness. It starts to trust you again. That trust shows in your eyes, in your posture, in the smoothness of your skin. You begin to feel better, and when you feel better, you look better. Not because of a filter, but because of alignment. There is no serum that replaces a clean conscience, no foundation that can mimic peace of mind. The glow that comes from true nourishment is quiet but unmistakable. And so, the journey to beauty becomes a spiritual one. You begin to honor your body not just for how it looks, but for all it does for you. You stop punishing it and start supporting it. You become gentle with your choices. You start to question what you consume and why. And little by little, your reflection begins to shift. Not because of a miracle product, but because you chose to give yourself what you needed all along. The body responds to love. And love, in its purest form, is nourishment. Not punishment, not comparison, not deprivation. Just care, deep and unwavering. When you see someone with glowing skin, what you are really seeing is balance. You are seeing a person who, whether consciously or unconsciously, has given their body the tools to thrive. And that is available to all of us. We don't need to chase it. We need to return to it. To return to the basics. To the simple truth that what we put into our body matters far more than what we put onto it. Nourishment is the root, and beauty is the fruit. You cannot have one without the other. So let this be a reminder. You are not broken. Your skin is not the enemy. It is simply trying to communicate with you. Will you listen? Will you answer with kindness, with nourishment, with presence? Because once you do, once you commit to feeding yourself in all the ways you need, nutritionally, emotionally, spiritually, your skin will reflect that, and you won't need to hide anymore. You'll radiate. Because true beauty begins with internal nourishment, not external cover. And that truth will never fade. Your skin speaks in silence. Vitamins are its voice of healing. It doesn't shout, it doesn't scream, it whispers in its own language. A sudden dryness, a breakout, a dull tone. These are not just surface-level problems, they are gentle signals. The skin doesn't know how to lie. It reflects truth. It reveals imbalances we often overlook or dismiss. We live in a world that teaches us to silence symptoms rather than understand them. We are quick to cover up what we don't want to see, applying layers of concealers and filters, hoping to erase the signs. But the skin never forgets. It holds memories. It reveals how we treat our bodies, what we feed our cells, and how often we neglect our need for rest, sunlight, hydration, and love. When you begin to recognize that your skin is speaking, you start to notice its language everywhere. You feel it in the tightness after a long, stressful day. You see it in the uneven texture after poor nutrition. You witness its reactions to your inner emotional world, whether joy, peace, worry, or sadness. And most importantly, you begin to understand that healing doesn't start with what you apply, but what you absorb. Vitamins are not just supplements, they are tools for the body to repair, restore, and realign itself. Each one has a unique role in the symphony of cellular health. Vitamin A encourages renewal. Vitamin C defends and strengthens. Vitamin E soothes and protects. Vitamin D empowers the immune system. Vitamin B supports energy flow and stress management. These aren't optional luxuries. They are essential. They are the words the skin uses to say, I am healing now. Ignoring these needs is like ignoring a friend who is quietly asking for help. Over time, the skin grows louder, not in voice, but in signs. Chronic acne, early aging, hyperpigmentation, sensitivity. These are not just cosmetic concerns. They are clues. Clues that something is missing, and when you begin to listen instead of suppress, you realize that the solution has been within your reach all along. It's not in the most expensive jar. It's in your plate. It's in your habits. It's in your awareness. Healing begins when you stop treating the symptom and start supporting the system. The skin, like every other part of your body, is built to repair itself, but it cannot do so without the right ingredients. Without vitamins, that repair is delayed. The balance is disturbed. The messages become more desperate. Many people search for miracles in the wrong places. They chase trends. They follow influencers. They try 10-step routines, but still feel disappointed. Why? Because the root of the problem remains untouched. A starving body cannot glow. A nutrient-deficient system cannot produce clarity. When the body lacks vitamins, especially those essential for skin health, it redirects its limited resources to vital organs first, like the heart, the brain, the lungs. The skin is left with the leftovers, if there are any. That's when issues begin to appear. Not because the skin is weak, but because it is last in line. To truly heal the skin, you must feed the body in a way that every cell feels included. Only then can the skin begin to thrive. This is not a matter of vanity. This is a matter of vitality. Your skin is not just for beauty, it's a protective barrier. It defends you daily from pollutants, bacteria, ultraviolet rays, and other external aggressors. It deserves to be supported. It deserves to be heard. And the way to do that is to fuel it from within, to flood it with the nutrients it needs to do its job with strength and grace. Vitamins are not optional, they are the language of life. Without them, the body's messages become distorted. With them, everything becomes clearer. The silence of the skin is not passive. It is wise. It knows when it's being ignored and when it's being nourished. It knows when your smile is forced and when your sleep is restless. It knows when your meals are rushed and when your water intake is insufficient. And it responds accordingly. What's beautiful is that the moment you decide to change even slightly, the skin begins to trust again. It begins to repair. It doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for consistency. A single glass of water may not transform it, but a commitment to hydration every day will. One serving of fruits or vegetables may not clear your complexion overnight, but a habit of whole food nourishment will. One moment of stress won't ruin your skin, but chronic stress without relief will leave its mark. And the nutrients you give yourself during those times, especially B vitamins and antioxidants, are like gentle hands guiding your body back to calm. Healing the skin is not about being harsh. It is about being aware. It is about realizing that your skin listens to your life. Every decision you make matters. The times you choose to rest instead of pushing through exhaustion. The times you say no to processed food and yes to real nourishment. The times you step into sunlight with gratitude and protect your skin with care. These small moments are where healing begins. And each time you give your body the vitamins it's asking for, your skin responds with gratitude. It softens. It clears. It glows. Not because of magic, but because of support. That is the real voice of healing. There is no shortcut to this process. No single supplement can replace a lifestyle rooted in awareness. But there is hope in knowing that the body wants to heal. It is always moving in the direction of repair if we allow it. And vitamins are one of the purest ways we say to our skin, I hear you. That message, though silent, is powerful. And over time, it changes everything. Not just your reflection in the mirror, but how you carry yourself, how you feel in your own skin, how connected you are to your own health. So next time you look at your skin, don't judge it. Listen to it. Ask yourself what it's trying to tell you. Is it thirsty? Is it tired? Is it starving for nutrients? And instead of reaching for a quick fix, reach for a real solution. Give it the vitamins it needs. Let healing be a language you learn to speak fluently, because your skin will always respond to love. And sometimes, love looks like a fresh salad, a good night's sleep, or a mindful breath. Sometimes, love looks like patience. And sometimes, love looks like a simple vitamin that speaks the words your skin has been waiting to hear. Each vitamin is a messenger of balance, energy, and renewal. These nutrients are not just biochemical compounds. They are quiet agents of transformation working within the body to keep everything in harmony. In a fast-paced world where attention is constantly drawn outward, we often forget how much our bodies are doing behind the scenes. Every cell is performing countless tasks every second to keep us alive, energized, and whole. Vitamins act as the subtle guidance system for those cells. Without them, systems begin to fail, energy levels drop, and visible signs of imbalance begin to appear, most noticeably in the skin. The skin is our largest organ, and one of the first places to show us when something inside is missing or misaligned. When you provide your body with the right vitamins, you're not just filling nutritional gaps, you are restoring communication within yourself. You are reminding your system how to work in rhythm again. Vitamin A, for example, plays a critical role in skin cell regeneration. It supports the process of renewal, helping the skin shed what is old and bring forth what is new. This renewal is essential because your skin is constantly exposed to elements that break it down: sunlight, pollution, toxins, and stress. Without enough vitamin A, the process of renewal slows and skin begins to look tired, uneven, and aged. But when you restore that balance with the right nourishment, the skin begins to behave differently. It becomes more efficient, more vibrant. It knows how to rebuild because it finally has the tools it needs. Vitamin C is another powerful messenger, bringing the energy of protection and vibrancy. It supports collagen production, which gives the skin its firmness and elasticity. It also helps the skin fight oxidative stress, the kind caused by pollution, UV rays, and internal inflammation. When vitamin C levels are low, the skin starts to sag, wrinkle, and lose its luster. But when replenished, you see the brightness return. The glow isn't artificial. It is a reflection of inner vitality. Your body is doing what it was always capable of doing. It just needed support. That support comes in the form of vitamins, working quietly but powerfully beneath the surface. Vitamin E serves as a guardian. It protects skin cells from damage and helps with healing. When you get a cut, a rash, or sunburn, vitamin E steps in to help repair the damage. It is the vitamin of restoration. Without it, skin remains vulnerable, slow to heal, and quick to scar. But with enough of it, the skin becomes resilient. You may still face the same challenges from your environment, but the response of your body becomes different. It becomes stronger, calmer, less reactive. That's what balance feels like. Not the absence of challenges, but the ability to face them without being thrown off center. Then there's vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin, and for good reason. It is synthesized when sunlight hits the skin, connecting us directly to nature's healing power. This vitamin doesn't just support bones and immunity, it plays a vital role in skin health by helping to modulate inflammation and support skin cell metabolism. In today's world, many people are deficient in vitamin D due to indoor lifestyles and excessive sun protection. When the body doesn't get enough vitamin D, not only does the immune system suffer, but the skin loses one of its key regulators of health. With adequate vitamin D, the entire body, including the skin, can operate in more harmony. The body feels more alive, more stable, more at ease. That sense of renewal becomes real, not just on the outside, but deep within. B vitamins, a group that includes B1, B2, 3, B5, B6, B7, B9, and B12, are deeply involved in energy metabolism and stress response. These vitamins help convert food into energy, repair damaged tissues, and maintain healthy brain function. When stress is high and B vitamins are low, the body quickly becomes depleted. The skin begins to show fatigue. You may see dullness, dryness, or breakouts. But with a steady intake of B vitamins, you begin to restore energy. That energy doesn't just make you feel better. It shows in how your skin behaves. It becomes livelier, more supple, more responsive. The relationship between stress and skin is often underestimated, but it is deeply real. And B vitamins are one of the most important tools the body uses to navigate that stress. These vitamins are not working alone. They are working together, each contributing to the overall balance of the system. When one is missing, the others can't perform at full capacity. That's why a balanced diet and thoughtful supplementation, if needed, are so important. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is harmony. Your skin doesn't need flawless ingredients. It needs essential ones, the basic building blocks that support life, energy, healing, and connection. When your body has them, it thrives. When it lacks them, it struggles. The message is simply support your system, and your system will support you in return. What's beautiful about vitamins is that they don't demand attention. They do their work quietly. They're not glamorous, not hyped up by trends, but they're effective. They've always been here, part of the Earth's design for life. Found in fruits, vegetables, seeds, and sunlight. These sources are reminders that healing doesn't always come in expensive packages. Sometimes it comes from the simplest sources: a handful of berries, a glass of fresh water, a walk in the sun, a meal prepared with care. These small, intentional choices invite balance back into your body. Each time you nourish your body with these essential vitamins, you are planting seeds of healing. And just like in nature, those seeds take time to grow, but when they do, the result is lasting. Not just a temporary fix, but a transformation. You start to feel more in tune with your body. You recognize what foods energize you and which ones drain you. You learn what your skin is asking for and what your emotions are pointing toward. You no longer treat your body like a machine that must perform on demand. You treat it like a living system that requires care, patience, and nourishment. As you begin to understand this, your relationship with your skin begins to shift. You stop fighting it. You start working with it. You become curious rather than critical. And your skin responds, not just with better appearance, but with a deeper sense of ease. You start to feel good in your own skin, literally and figuratively. That feeling is not a result of luck or good genes. It is the result of alignment, of giving your body what it has been waiting for. The message is clear. Each vitamin is a messenger. Each one brings a unique form of balance, energy, and renewal. And your body, when given the right support, knows exactly how to use these messengers. It knows how to heal. It knows how to glow. It knows how to come back into harmony. And in that state of harmony, you don't just look better. you feel better, more alive, more grounded, more whole. That is the true purpose of nourishment, not to impress others, but to empower yourself. And when you're empowered, your presence becomes magnetic, not because of anything external, but because of the quiet strength radiating from within. Neglecting skin health is ignoring the wisdom of your own body. The skin is not simply an outer covering, it is a living, breathing organ with intelligence and memory. It is the first line of defense, the communicator between your inner world and the external environment. When the skin begins to show signs of stress, whether it's breakouts, dryness, irritation, premature wrinkles, or dullness, these are not random occurrences. They are deliberate expressions, signals meant to draw your attention inward. They are your body's way of saying that something is out of alignment. To ignore these signs, to treat them only as aesthetic issues, is to deny the body its right to be heard. In doing so, you overlook one of your most powerful allies in self-awareness and healing. From the moment we wake up, our skin is working for us. It regulates temperature, protects against toxins, helps in the production of vitamin D, and even plays a role in immune defense. And yet, we often take it for granted. We scrub it too hard, suffocate it with synthetic products, and neglect to feed it with the nutrients it needs to function optimally. When skin health is overlooked, it's not just the appearance that suffers, it's a reflection of deeper neglect. The body's internal processes rely on a careful balance of vitamins, minerals, hydration, and rest. When these are lacking, the skin is the first to show the imbalance. It may manifest subtly at first. Perhaps a slight tightness, some dryness, or uneven tone. But over time, the signs grow louder, and the more we try to cover them instead of listening to them, the more disconnected we become from our own health. The wisdom of the body is ancient. Every function has a purpose, every reaction a root cause. The skin is no exception. It reacts to your environment, your emotions, your diet, your thoughts. It reacts to how you treat yourself and how you live your daily life. When you experience prolonged stress, your body produces more cortisol, which can disrupt collagen production, increase oiliness, and worsen conditions like acne or eczema. If your diet lacks essential fatty acids or vitamins, the skin becomes dull, fragile, and inflamed. If you don't hydrate adequately, the skin can't maintain its elasticity or flush out toxins. All these issues are not skin problems. They are body problems expressing themselves through the skin, but we have been conditioned to think of skin only in visual terms. We judge its flaws, compare it to others, and strive to fit unrealistic standards. This leads us down a path of temporary solutions, quick fixes that mask rather than mend. When the skin is dry, we add moisturizer, often ignoring the possibility that our water intake is too low or our diet is lacking essential fats. When the skin breaks out, we apply spot treatments, forgetting to examine our stress levels, gut health, or hormone balance. The true solution lies not in silencing the symptom, but in asking deeper questions. What is my body trying to tell me? What am I missing? Where have I neglected my own care? Listening to the skin requires presence. It requires you to slow down and become attentive to the subtle shifts in texture, tone, and sensitivity. It invites you to view each change not as a flaw, but as feedback. And when you respond with nourishment, gentleness, and patience, the skin begins to shift. It responds to care. It responds to awareness. Even the most stubborn skin issues can be improved when the body receives what it truly needs. This may take time, but healing is not a race. It is a return to balance. This process also asks for consistency. Just as the body does not deteriorate overnight, it does not heal overnight either. It is a daily practice, a silent commitment. The foods you eat, the water you drink, the thoughts you think, the products you use, the rest you give yourself. These are all votes for or against your well-being. And your skin remembers each one. It's not about being perfect. It's about choosing again and again to treat your body as something worthy of care and attention. There is also a deeper truthing. How we treat our skin often mirrors how we treat ourselves emotionally. If we're harsh, impatient, or judgmental with our appearance, it usually reflects how we feel inside. Skincare is not just about products. It's about relationship. The relationship you have with your skin is part of the relationship you have with your body and ultimately yourself. When you begin to approach your skin with curiosity rather than criticism, compassion instead of control, everything changes. You begin to heal from the inside out. Vitamins play a vital role in this healing. They are not just supplements, but support systems. Vitamin C helps repair and build, restoring brightness and firmness. Vitamin E protects and soothes, calming inflammation and speeding recovery. B vitamins fuel energy and reduce stress-related skin issues. Vitamin D regulates immune responses that can affect skin clarity. These are not surface-level solutions. They work from within, reinforcing the skin's structure, improving its function, and empowering it to respond to life's demands. Without these nutrients, the skin becomes like a warrior without armor. Exposed, vulnerable, and unable to fight back. To ignore the skin's cry for nutrients is to ignore your body's cry for balance. The fatigue you feel, the breakouts you see, the lines that form earlier than expected, they are not punishments. They are calls for attention, for care, for change. When you nourish the body, the skin flourishes. When you respect your body's wisdom, you no longer chase beauty. You embody it. It radiates from a place of wellness, confidence, and alignment. Let this be your reminder: your skin is not against you. It is not your enemy. It is a wise, living organ that is trying to guide you back to health. And when you start listening, really listening, you'll find that it has always known the way. You'll begin to notice how certain foods affect your glow, how sleep restores your complexion, how stress dims your radiance, and how love, real intentional love for yourself, makes you shine without even trying. Neglecting skin health is not just neglecting how you look. It is neglecting how you feel, how you connect with your body, how you trust yourself to meet your own needs. You deserve more than that. You deserve to be heard. And your skin, in its silent wisdom, has been trying to start that conversation all along. Now is the time to listen, to respond, to nourish. Because healing begins not with what you apply, but with how you honor the messages your body has been sending you all this time. Healing your skin is not a routine. It is a mindful ritual of self-respect. In a culture obsessed with speed, instant results, and external perfection, the idea of ritual can feel outdated. But there is something sacred in the daily act of tending to oneself with intention. True healing does not begin with a product or a promise. It begins with presence. It begins when you stop treating your skin like a problem to fix and start honoring it as a part of you that deserves care. The difference between a rushed routine and a mindful ritual is the energy you bring into it. One is mechanical, done out of habit or obligation. The other is loving, grounded in awareness, and deeply connected to how you see yourself. When you shift from simply going through the motions to truly connecting with your body, your skin responds. not just physically, but energetically. The skin holds memory. It carries the traces of our environment, our choices, our experiences. The weathering of time, the scars of stress, the glow of nourishment, they all live on the surface. But healing is not about erasing these marks. It's about embracing the journey that made them. It's about choosing moment after moment to show up for yourself, even when you don't feel perfect. Especially when you don't feel perfect. Because real respect for your body is not conditional. It doesn't wait until you're flawless. It begins when you decide you are worthy of care just as you are. When your hands move across your face in the mirror, you're not just applying a serum. You're sending a messaging: I am here. I am listening. I am willing to care. This is the foundation of a healing ritual. Not just what you do, but how you do it. It's the difference between scrubbing your face and gently cleansing it. Between throwing on a moisturizer and taking a moment to massage it in, feeling the texture of your skin, connecting with its needs. It's not about being elaborate or luxurious. It's about intention. A single drop of oil applied with presence has more power to heal than a shelf full of products used in disconnection. Because the skin feels more than ingredients. It feels energy. It feels respect. And over time, it reflects that energy back to you. This ritual extends beyond what you do in front of the mirror. It lives in your habits, your food, your thoughts, your sleep. What you feed yourself becomes the building blocks of your skin. What you believe about yourself becomes the tone of your self-care. If you view skincare as a chore, it will feel like one. But if you see it as a sacred dialogue with your body, it becomes something entirely different. It becomes a time to pause, to breathe, to reconnect. In that stillness, healing happens, not just in the skin, but in the nervous system. The simple act of slowing down tells the body you are safe, you are supported. And the body responds by moving from stress to repair, from protection to regeneration. This shift is subtle but powerful. When you begin to treat your self-care as a ritual, you create a space where healing can unfold naturally. You start to make different choices. Not out of fear or pressure, but out of love. You choose foods that support your skin because you respect your body's needs. You drink water throughout the day because you want to feel alive, not because you're trying to check a box. You go to sleep earlier, not because you have to, but because you understand that rest is a form of healing. These choices are no longer about achieving perfection. They are about honoring your body's process every day in small, consistent ways. Vitamins play a central role in this process, not as magic pills, but as tools of nourishment. They are the silent supporters behind your skin's strength, clarity, and radiance. When you include essential vitamins in your daily life, whether through food or supplements, you are sending a message to your body that it is worth investing in. Vitamin C builds collagen and brightens. Vitamin E soothes and protects. Vitamin A supports renewal. B vitamins regulate stress and promote hydration. These are not luxuries. They are necessities. They are signs of self-respect, reminders that your body is a living system that deserves to be nourished. But vitamins alone are not enough. It is the intention behind them that makes them powerful. When you take a supplement or prepare a nutrient-rich meal with mindfulness, it becomes part of your healing ritual. You begin to see every act of care as a contribution to your well-being. And your skin, like a mirror, begins to show the results, not overnight, but gradually, steadily. Over time, the lines soften, the breakouts calm, the glow returns. Not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. Healing cannot be rushed. It is not a destination, but a deepening relationship with yourself. The more you listen to your body, the more you begin to understand what it needs. Not what others say it needs, but what it truly craves. Some days it may ask for movement. Other days for stillness. Some days it may want cooling foods, and other days warmth. Your job is not to control this process, but to honor it, to create space for it, and to trust that your body knows how to heal when given the right support. This is what makes skincare a ritual of self-respect. It's not about the number of steps, the trendiness of products, or the opinions of others. It's about your relationship with yourself. When that relationship is rooted in compassion and awareness, everything changes. You no longer chase beauty. You embody it. You stop fighting your skin and start working with it. You stop criticizing your reflection and start appreciating the messages it brings. Even the imperfections become sacred, part of the story of your resilience. And this ritual is not just for the skin. It ripples into every area of your life. You start to treat your thoughts with more care, your boundaries with more clarity, your time with more value. The way you care for your skin becomes a reflection of how you care for your entire being. And others feel it. They may not know what's changed, but they sense the difference. You carry yourself differently. You glow, not from product, but from presence, from the quiet confidence that comes from honoring yourself. So if your skin is asking for healing, begin not with the perfect routine, but with the perfect intentioning to respect yourself enough to care, to slow down enough to listen, to nourish yourself from a place of love, not lack. That is the ritual. That is the healing. And in that sacred space, beauty reveals itself, not as a result, but as a reflection of your inner alignment. This is what true self-respect looks like. It is soft, steady, and strong. And it begins with one simple decision to show up for yourself fully and lovingly, one moment at a time,